There we are. Owen, how are you? Good to see you again. Hi, Broke Nose. How are you doing this evening? Hi, David. Hi, Melvin. I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. Just got done doing some grocery shopping with my wife and little girl, and got some Christmas presents to take up to one of my Peruvian friends tomorrow. I'm going up to rope a bunch of big bull calves that need to be cut. And those guys don't get to go to town very often, so this time of year I try and take them some sweets and some gloves and stuff like that. So I got some stuff for him. He should stay warm. But taking Henry and Luke tomorrow. Rush is still out of commission with that big cut on his shoulder. So I got to get back shoes on Henry this evening. So, hi, Unique. How are you? Oh, come on. It ain't that cold out. No, he didn't need stitches. Where it was on his front leg up high, I sent a bunch of pictures to Dr. Beck, and because it was just hide and sorry guys, I thought you could see that. Because it was just hide and no muscle, we decided that it didn't need stitches, and that it was in an area where if we did give stitches, there was so much movement that they'd probably pull out a lot. So on Tuesday's video, I will show you guys how he's doing and all that. Corey and Trevor store. Mr. Lay, what happened? Where's the roof of our car? Barbara's gonna freak. Oh, the trailer park boys. That's a time sink. Hi, Ducky. Melvin, this is a lot longer than 6 weeks. This is probably closer to 10 or 12 weeks, honestly. It's been a while since I've done his back feet, but they don't grow. Henry's back feet don't seem to grow super fast, so I don't need to do him near as often. It has definitely been a while since I put these on. Hey, why don't you step in there? Come on. Why are you going to be difficult about this? Thank you. Horse milk? Never drink horse milk. I know that some people make a lot of money making soap out of mare's milk, but I've never went down that route. Leo, how are you? Twan in, good to see you. I hope I said that right. Probably didn't. Yep, David, that's exactly what I was doing. Just unclenching them. Yeah, just Nate, what Leo said's just exactly right. I've had this horse since he was born, so I trust him pretty good. He can be kind of a jerk sometimes, but he knows that his job is to stand here with a foot up right now for me. That looks a lot more like a horse foot. Melvito, I'm putting a new set of horseshoes on Henry's back feet here. Queen Desire. So the way a horse's foot works, the outer hoof wall, there's a space and a space between it. How do I say this? So there's the outer hoof wall and the space just under it don't have any nerve endings, so the horse can't feel that. So the nail can go up through that and out the hoof wall without causing any problems. So you have to file it down. Yep, I have to make the shoe and the foot flat to each other. Leo, you're fine. I blocked his comment. Don't worry about him. If he spouts off again, I'll block him from the channel. But yeah, Melvito, keep asking questions, especially if you've never seen the process done. I love answering them. I'll pick his foot up again. I'll see if I can get you a little bit closer. Child of God says, Jesus died on the cross for you. May your remaining days be blessed, so blessed it overflows into wisdom and compassion. God bless you. Well, thank you, child of God. Bless yourself. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas time. How do you keep your back in shape? I avoid sugar as much as possible, and I lift weights 6 days a week. Hi, Jack. Super noob, that's no reason to hate horses. I'm sorry to hear about your brother, though. That's a hell of a tragedy for sure. So I'll try and I'm going to take the phone out of here for you and I'll try and show you this. Let me see. You can see the black color of his hooves, and then there's the white line, and then the little yellow line right behind that. As long as my nails don't get into that yellow line hardly at all, they stay in the white line and the black out there, then he can't feel it at all. And if you look at his feet from the side view, those set at an angle like that. A way we can ensure that this doesn't happen, I'm going to turn the camera around for this. If you look at the horseshoe nail, it is not symmetrical, and neither is the tip. So what that'll do is you put the flat side of this horseshoe nail towards the outside of the hoof, and that nail, as it is driven through the hoof, curves and heads out of the hoof wall. You have to be really diligent and not ever mess that up. If you do put a nail backwards, it'll curve towards the inside of the hoof. And when you get too close to the inside of the hoof there, it's called hot nailing them, which is pretty painful. And you let it, the horse will let you know right now that you did that. It hurts them pretty good. It doesn't necessarily injure them, but it's almost akin to cutting your fingernails way too short. Let's see. RJ Miller, I'm gonna build her, take over family farm. I'm gonna do a horse. There you go. That sounds like a good plan, RJ. Yeah, exactly, Curtis. The outside of the foot don't have those nerves, and the inside will get those nerves. Have I ever hot nailed a horse? Yep, I have. I'm self-taught to do this, and when I was teaching myself, I trimmed a couple too short. I trimmed a couple uneven and made them sore afterwards. I hot nailed one or two, but if you hot nail them, you just pull the nail out and give them time, and their hooves will grow out. How thick of the part is a part of their hooves that doesn't hurt to nail into? You got maybe a half an inch, I would say. That's a guess, but a good rule of thumb that I use. So we've got the new set of horseshoes that we're going to put on Henry here. Henry says, damn, that's a big horse. He's actually one of my smaller horses. But on a horseshoe, that's the side that touches their foot, and that's the side that touches the ground. When I shaped this horseshoe and his foot to each other, there's a whole bunch I look for, but basically the distance between the outside of that shoe and those nail holes, as long as I don't have a lot of hoof hanging over the outside of that shoe, and I point the nail where it needs to go, that nail won't go anywhere it shouldn't. One of the most important things to think about putting putting a set of shoes on the foot is to get that foot flat as possible. You got to make it level so he's not standing side to side. So when I push on him like so, I'm leaned way back. You guys can't see that, but I'm looking down his foot to make sure it is level side to side. That's not bad. This heel's a little high. So that shoe sits on there. It doesn't want to rock. I have, if you look, I can't quite move the camera where I need you to show this right now, but there's a little bit of a dish right here in the middles. So I'm going to take my rasp and clean some more off of that toe to bring that level down to where that shoe sits flat and has good contact all the way around the hoof. Bless you, Henry. Okay. Moves the hood. What do you mean, Leo? His hood or his hoof? Hey, out. So that sits pretty good. There's still a little bit of that I was talking about there. Henry's kind of standing way over towards the side of the garage right now, guys. That's why the camera's kind of... Okay, so we got the foot flat, and if you can't see it, but that shoe hangs over his foot just ever so slightly. So I'm going to hit that shoe on my anvil, probably just 1, maybe 2 hits right there. And I'm going to try and close that shoe up about 1/8 of an inch. Not much at all, but... Hey, and you need to stand over here. Thank you. Are you going to be this way tonight? Rocky Sunshine says, looks like a back-breaking career. I have a lot of admiration for professional farriers. I'm not a professional farrier. I'm just a working cowboy that keeps shoes on my own horses. But yeah, if you were to do this full time, I'd imagine it would be. Chuckled. Henry, Chuckled says hi. Okay, Leo says hoof. How do you keep his hoof up? My horse just moves his hoof back and forth. I can actually... Leo, that's actually a pretty decent idea for a video. When they're really young, like day old, I start messing with their feet, and I don't ever not mess with their feet. So they're pretty used to it. But if I have a horse... Hi, K Grooves, KG. Good to see you. If I have a horse that doesn't know how to stand for this, I like to put them in a round pen and pick a foot up. If I have to use a rope a little bit, you know, if they're not that gentle or whatever, that's fine. And if he stands there and lets me have his foot, he's fine. I give him his foot back and pet on him. If he takes his foot away from me and tries to walk off or kick or whatever, he's running circles. It doesn't take too long of that, and he'll realize that it's easier to stand there and behave. Like Forrest Gump said, it happens. Do you ever use hoof stands for them? No. And that, Joseph, that's a personal preference. You guys have to promise not to make fun of the mess that is my garage. But when I do need to support a hoof facing the front of the horse, I've taught all of my horses to rest their foot on my knee like that. I can work on it, can do whatever I need to. In my opinion, hoof stands just make horses want to lean on a guy and not hold the foot up. And another thing that I've taught myself to do is to do an entire shoe job and never have to face the front of the horse. I worked with horses that weren't very gentle for a long time, and one of the safest, the best ways to protect yourself on a horse that wants to kick you or something is to stand here to where you never get to where he can kick you. Where like a shoeing stand would put me up here, all he's got to do is take that foot off of that stand, and he's got it behind me already, and I'm right in his line of fire. He has behavior issues because he's very dominant. Well, I guess sometimes you just have to show them that you can be meaner than they are. It's the same as teaching a hawk to get used to it touching its feet from day one. Kevin, you work with hawks? That's really neat. He's about 5. Okay, gotcha. So he's had some past lessons in life where he can be the boss. Scuzzlebutt said both. Now I gotta try it. Not sure what you mean there, but Taylor the Taco, how are we doing tonight? Can you feed a Subway sandwich to a horse? I mean, you feed anything to them they eat. It might kill them or it might not. Piper, his name is Henry. Hello to Dallas, Texas. Falconers also do it. That's awesome. Roy Munson, glad to see you here. You're welcome, Joseph. You guys, like I said, ask all the questions that you want. If I don't see your question, I try and scroll back up through chat. But if you ask a question and I miss it, just ask it again and I'll see it. Wouldn't give your horse a sub? No, I probably wouldn't either. I did have a horse that really liked brown sugar and cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Dairy really messes with their stomachs. Yeah, horses' stomachs interact with protein different than ours, so I could see how dairy would cause a problem. All right, Henry, we'll see. Let's get back to work here a minute, bud. Let's see how this fits now. All right, so I narrowed it up. And that fits pretty good. Right there. Can you feed mangoes to a horse? In moderation. I know horses really like watermelon. So that shoe will fit on his foot there like we need. So yeah, beer's a good source of carbs for him actually. So if you look, we'll put this nail on this shoe. It doesn't want to sit down totally flush. And that's because there's a little bit of casting flash on the inside of the nails here. I just take the Pritchell side of my clinch cutter and run around and give each hole a tap to break that casting flash off. Dustin, I couldn't have said it better myself. Your horses like bananas? I've never tried a banana. Henry Honey Dip says you're a beautiful animal. A giant watermelon garden and anything he doesn't eat gives the horses behind his house. They go crazy for it. Yep. It's just like for us, it's a great source of electrolytes also. I like to get my first 2 nails in and let him set that foot down. Back to hot nailing. If you were to have hot nailed him there, like see how he stands right now, he puts weight on it just fine. He don't care. He's like, yeah, whatever. If you were to have hot nailed him, he wouldn't put any weight on that foot. Can a horse eat meat? Honestly, I don't think so. For one, their teeth aren't designed to chew it, and for two, I don't think their stomachs are designed to break the long chain proteins down. Hey, quit now. You're being kind of a pain in my butt. Testing it out. Yep, that's exactly what he was doing, making sure he likes it. Adrian, I know protein content is a big consideration in the horse's diet. And of course, meat's high in protein, so that would be something to think about. Should have grabbed more nails. I think from a quick Google search, no, it can't. No, it can cause serious issues like colic, bloating, and pathogens. Yeah. Okay, Chad, I got a question for you guys. Can somebody tell me the score of the Vikings-Cowboys game, please? Melvito, if you notice, every time I get a nail started, I pause for just a second, like right there, and I reach down and I feel around the outside of his foot to make sure that that nail is coming out where I want. 17-17, 19-17, 17-17, halftime. All right. I've been a Vikings fan my whole life. Joe King says my dad's a farrier in Sweetwater, Tennessee. That's pretty cool. He probably works on a lot nicer horses than I do. I have a lot of admiration for professional farriers. They are tough guys. I'll be right back, guys. Somebody just pulled in my driveway. I'm not too sure who it is. Pardon me for just a second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. My wife ordered pizza, and it was a pizza lady showing up. Buffalo and Sabres fan. Lake Erie. Your son's a farrier in North Carolina. That's awesome. Remember the horse video I saw? A chicken was eating with the chicks. Horse. Yeah, I saw that. That sorrel horse ate that little chick. That video gets me every time. Chicago Bears. Oh. How did you get into this trade? To be honest, real unknown. I don't like being in town. So I took a job that would take me as far from town and people as possible. My family had a little ranch when I was growing up, and we lost it to a loophole in a contract right as I got out of high school. And I left agriculture altogether after college, went to the oil fields just for a little while, and then decided I wanted to get out of town, quit. So I got on, I knew how to rope and I knew how to ride. I knew a little bit about cattle. So I got on ranchworldads.com, found a job listing in a place I wanted to go, set an application in, and 10 years later I'm still in the industry. Yep, Ziggy is definitely a horse's ass. And sometimes he acts like it too. So I'll finish this hoof facing forward relative to Henry, just to show you guys. Again, I just put his foot right on my knee there, or even inside, just a hair like so. Obviously, I can't hold much weight if he decides to put a bunch of weight on me. So that teaches him not to put a bunch of weight on you. Melvito, what I'm doing now is this tool has teeth on it. I'm just taking the head of the nails that I nipped off and bending them over in a curve, making a hook out of them. And that's what actually holds the shoe onto the hoof. It's called a clinch. Okay. All I'm doing now is taking any of that excess that's on the outside of the shoe off. I'm going to take the smooth side of my rasp and make sure there's no little sharp burrs or points or anything like that on the clinches. And that foot is finished. One down, one to go. Set all my tools over here. Yeah, the file mark, David, the way I think about the file mark underneath where the tip of the nail, it's not so much a groove, but there's a really small part of that hoof wall that cracks and breaks as the nail protrudes through it. And I just knocked that away. That way that clinch can fold over and grab solid good hoof wall and not have to have that piece that's already flaked off or broken there. Okay, leading. Chat's moving too fast. Really hope you see my comment. My dad did this kind of work. Definitely hard on the knees and hands. Rest in peace, Dad. An auto accident. I was almost 12. I live in the city now. Sorry to hear about your father. My dad died in my arms on an antelope hunt in 2017. and he was one of my best friends. So Dad's got a special place in my heart. Bears are 10-4, number 2 seed in the NFC. Hey, the Bears are having a good year. I got to give the Bears a hard time because my wife's a Packers fan, so that leaves the Bears and Lions to give a hard time. False quarter, buddy. Hold on. I'll scroll back up here. Do you know what to do with a false quarter? Not sure I know what you mean. I'm self-taught shoeing, so I don't know a lot of the terminology or solutions that a professional farrier would. Beautiful horses, thank you. Hi, Wednesday. Angels live on. Christmas is hard when they aren't there. Yes, it is. Do horses get shoes on all 4 feet? Yes, I put shoes on all 4 of my horses' feet. Antelope, cantaloupe. Yeah. Leo's a Packers fan. Finally, we're good, but fair rivalry. Yep. What state are you in? I'm in northern Nevada. I subbed. I'm Marcus. Hi, Marcus. Thanks for the sub. How are you from Mercury, Nevada? I have no idea where Mercury is, so probably quite a ways. My dad was self-taught also. Went to Fanshawe College, Ontario. Pretty neat. How many horses do you have? I have 9 right now. Didn't I see you at a Diddy party? No, must have been a doppelganger. Yes, Leo, I train my own horses. I have never spent a dime for training, outside training. If you didn't put shoes on them, a lot of horses would do just fine. A lot of the country I go to is big, like there's a lot of rocks and it's long days. And that would chip their hooves out and make them really sore. Hey, you know I'm sitting right here, right? He says, come on, man, do my other foot. Do you call horses feet or paws? Technically, they're hooves. Are you near Elko? I'm about 4.5 hours from Elko. I'm learning how to trim. Awesome. That's a hell of a skill to have. Packers are in trouble without Micah Parsons. Yeah. At what age do horses get shoes? Usually my horses are all 4-year-olds before they'll get their first set. Somehow brings back my dad a little too. You're welcome. Very happy to hear that. I ever been to Canada? I went to Victoria once when I was in high school, and we rode in a horse-drawn carriage around the inner part of the city, and the carriage hitchings, the pads that were on the collars started slipping, and the horses were getting pretty uptight about it. And my stepdad and I jumped down off the wagon because the lady was having a hard time keeping control of them. And we went and got a hold of their faces, and the one that was causing the big problem, we got his collar pad adjusted right again, and it was all good after that. That lady was pretty happy we were there. It might have been a pretty good wreck if we weren't. But I'm just happy to be there and help that day. Quit. You're fine. Henry, you're fine. Henry's a little bit like a toddler. He gets bored sometimes. Oh yeah, Mercury's down south on the base. 17-17, third quarter. All right. This isn't just welding or stable work. This brings me home self-employed and tried to be in coaching, music, and other healing stuff. Dad was only one in Southern Ontario we were in. That's awesome. Have you ever been kicked? I've been kicked, bit, stepped on, ran over, drug behind him, drug underneath him. Yeah, I've been in all sorts of wrecks. I have a 3-year-old. As a false quarter, and we're going to have put a special shoe on her or I won't be able to ride her. P.S. I'm going to sub. Well, thank you for the sub. I wish I had better advice for you there, but I don't want to give you bad advice. I'm going to have to look up what a false quarter is for my own knowledge now. My uncle shoots draft horses. When he does in front hooves, they love to lean on them. That's a lot to hold up. That's a hell of a lot to hold up. I have half draft horses. Henry's not one of them. And I have taught them to hold their feet up. How long have you been doing this? I've been doing this for 10 years. Cowboying for 10 years. Shoeing my own horses for 10 years. Yep, thank God for this. Does that pay good? Guys that do this full time, they make a pretty good living, but they earn every penny of it. Henry is a grade quarter horse. Yep, I'm Northern Nevada in the USA. Get you guys moved over here. There we go. So if you guys notice, I'm taking a lot less off of this foot than I did the other foot. And that is because, if I remember right, earlier this summer, I lost the shoe that was on this foot. And it was pretty early in the day. I rode him quite a ways without a shoe on that foot. So that foot got pretty chewed up a couple months ago. So it's shorter than the other one, so I don't need to take as much off. They'll be even now after this shoeing. Every 6 to 8 weeks, they start needing new shoes. It's been longer than that for him this time. Does this hurt them? When it's done correctly, it causes no pain at all. So if you see on his foot, this corner here, there's not a lot of dead sole material right there. That's where he got pretty chewed up earlier this year. I knew it had fell off. I heard it fall off. So I did the best I could with him, but unfortunately he's still kind of good at chewed up. Would you know if it was hurting them? Yes, they would let you know. He would take his foot from me. He wouldn't set it down on the ground when I wasn't holding it. They would definitely let you know if it was hurting them. All right, Leo, take care. Thanks for stopping in. Cowboys are winning. Dang it. Okay, this shoe doesn't need shaped at all. It fits his hoof really well. I am just gonna knock the casting flash out of them. Avion, I buy shoes. These are called easy shoes. You can see how they're kind of straight right here, and then there's a curve, and then a little bit of a straight stretch. These are shoes made specifically for a horse's back foot. Let me. I don't have. Maybe I do have. Hold on. Maybe I do have a set of fronts in here. Nope, that's a hind. Okay. So ignoring the size difference, because these are two different size shoe, but again, you have the rear and then you have the front. You can see how the front is more round all the way through. I use easy shoes because I don't have a forge, so I don't have a way to heat shoes up to shape them easier. You can absolutely shape them cold. It just takes longer and it's harder on your body, and you don't do as good of a job. That being said, are you live streaming tomorrow? Hadley, no. I will be taking some day work up at a ranch about 3 hours north of where I live. Hopefully they let me film, and if they do let me film, that video will drop on Friday. It should be a fun video. We're supposed to be roping a bunch of yearling bull calves, or almost yearling bull calves, that need cut. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun day, but I won't be live streaming tomorrow. Just like on the other side, I'm going to put 2 nails in, let him have his foot back. And he left. He left and he broke his lead rope. That was really nice of him. Well, I'll put my headlamp on. We'll go get him. Yeah, they're horses. They do stuff like that. He was fiddling around and got his lead rope hooked, and it got really short and he panicked. We'll go get him, put a different lead rope on him, bring him back in here and finish putting his shoes on. It's cold out here though. It's probably 15 degrees warmer in the barn. Oh yeah, I'm good, Danny, thanks. Got to get a new lead rope on him, all. We're all good, guys. Henry. Are you okay, doofus? You only have 3 shoes on, though. You need 4. I have another lead rope right here. Hey, don't do anything dumb there, guy. I'm going to set you guys on a hay bale right here while I catch you. Have both hands. You okay? Why don't you try not to do that again, bud? All right, we're all good. I had him tied short enough where he couldn't hook his lead rope under the corner of the bumper there, and he's been known to like pull at ropes with his teeth and stuff. I think he must have got it just enough slack to where he got like the body of that draped around the corner of the bumper, and then it was instantly short, of course, and it scared him. So no big deal. Nope, he wasn't hurt at all. No, he didn't fall, KG. You guys fell. He knocked you guys over. So, yeah, that's what he was on. And he got it somehow. I had him tied. It was about that long there. Somehow we got everything all the way under the corner there. I don't know. I don't usually shoe in my garage like this, but it's quite a bit warmer. You okay, guy? Are you embarrassed? Yeah. You should be embarrassed. That was dumb. You jumped. Don't worry, Pedro. I wasn't sure what was happening for a minute either. Are you heading into Idaho tomorrow? No, I'm going up into Northern California. My circle doesn't take me into Idaho very often. I have some friends in Idaho, but all right. There, don't cause no problems. Doofus. Now I got to figure out where I was at. I'm glad that lead rope broke, though. He'd have got real mad if he was stuck there very long. I seen county 4 plates. Nevada just does, we don't have counties on our plates or like Class C or truck or anything like that. They just give you a plate. Yep, that's right. I was just about to put 2 nails in that shoe. I got to hook my jumper pack back up for my battery on my phone. Get my tripod all straightened around. He made a hell of a mess there. Hi, Dwayne. Thanks for the sub. Hi, Kayla. You just missed Henry being a royal fool. Single? Me? No, married with a kid and one on the way. Yeah, Henry just pooped again. Scared the poop out of himself. Okay, I'm going to scroll back up through chat here for just a second, guys. KG says, thank the Lord, you and Henry are okay? Absolutely. David, I wish there was a nut fry after the job was done. But this ranch owner will probably take them and use them in a couple days to feed the crew. He likes to make spaghetti out of them. And not being full-time up there, I won't be for that. Nick, yep, you don't turn your back to him. I mean, even when your back are turned to him like this, you still pay attention. That's dang sure important. So, where you at? Northern Nevada. Safe travels. Have a good week. Hey, thanks, Danny. If it didn't break, yeah, he'd have probably just sat there and been an idiot about it. And eventually he probably would have decided to go forward and might have tried to climb over the hood of my truck or something like that. So all's well that ends well. It's not the ideal spot to tie a horse to, but it's what I'm working with. Trump 2028, Trump Jr. 2028. All right. Keep it back on the sky. Hey, amen to that, Danny. All right, guys. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. All right, do this. Let me see it now. All right. Oh, you're fine. Actually, no. You're fine. I wasn't going to tell you guys, but Henry and I talked about it earlier. I told him I'd give him a couple extra carrots if he made a scene about something. He was really overzealous with it. Both of my sons do rodeos. One's 16, the other's 12. Makes me damn nervous, even though they've been doing it since they were much younger. That's a Texas way for us, I guess. Yeah, I'd take rodeo and over a whole bunch of sports that were in town. Double it, give it to the next person. Yep. Henry tries really hard at everything he does, even when it comes to being stupid. And if you can't tell, he's kind of good at it sometimes. Wet. Hey, you're fine. Thanks to Broncos for beating the Packers. The Bears now. Oh, jeez. If it can't be the Vikings in the #1 seed, it should at least be the Packers. That way my wife's happy. Nader Mead said, "This guy sucks. Change channel." Henry is a 5-year-old this year. Had to think about it. Evening. True, but it's still better than Bears being 4th. That's true. You guys spent a long time down the bottom there. Okay. Thank you. Is that a nail? How does that horseshoe work? Zan, hang out just a second. Let me get these 2 nails put in, and I'll explain it better than I can right now. And I'm not clenching these nails right now. I'll put all the nails in this shoe and then I will clench them all at the same time. Okay, Zane. Basic, where's my bag? Basic principle of how a shoe stays on a horse. You get the shoe and the foot flat to each other. When you put that nail in the shoe, that's the side that touches the horse's foot. That's the side that touches the ground. The nail goes in from the side that touches the ground and it sits. That's a bad example because that casting flash is really thick on that one. Let me clean that up. Oh, Henry, you scattered my tools pretty good, dummy. I'll make do with it. But you put that nail in, then it goes up just on the inside of the horse's hoof wall, and then it pokes out of the inside of the horse's hoof wall. You'll cut the tip of that nail off, and then you'll clinch the top of that nail, that tip. And what that means is you'll take it straight and I'll bend it over so it makes a hook. With 6 or 8 nails on, those hooks will hold the shoe to the foot. And as long as there's no movement in that shoe, they'll stay there either until you take them out, or in extreme cases of shoes being left on a long time, the horse will actually wear the shoe and the nail down so much to where the shoe falls off over the nail. Now, of course, they can, catch it under a rock or a wire or real thick mud or something like that and pull a shoe off early. But the better a job you do, the less likelihood there is of that happening. Yeah, and Barry, like I said, I will clench them all after I get these last 2 in. Used to do it back in the 80s. That's pretty cool. I don't think shoeing horses has changed too terribly much since the 80s. And for those of you guys that have just got to the stream or haven't been to the stream very long, or the channel, I am self-taught, so I might do things differently than a regular farrier. So, I love chicken. Does it hurt them? When it's done correctly, it does not cause them any discomfort at all. You can injure them, but like I said, if you do it right, no, it does not. How does one know it doesn't hurt them? See that foot I just worked on? How he's standing there with body weight on it? If I had caused him pain, he would hold that foot up off the ground. Yeah, Barry, it is a difficult profession. I'm not a farrier by trade. I'm a working cowboy. I keep my own horses shod, and I would rather live stream it on YouTube and talk with you guys than standing in the shop here and talk to Henry, because he's not very good conversation. How is your back? I have my moments with it. It's not usually from horseshoeing that has been the problem. It's from rodeoing in high school and college and other horse wrecks. How often you have to change your shoes? You need to start paying attention to them every 6 weeks or so. Start looking. Different horses, different time periods, usually between 6 and 10 weeks. Reaper, your dad's a farrier? That's awesome. It's a good trade to know how to do. You always have something to fall back on. Hi, Zachary. All right, Henry, we are almost done, buddy. So this is the tool that I told you bends the end of the nail over. We'll clinch each one of these. Like so. Take my rasp. It's flared out pretty good here. That's why I got so much showing underneath the shoe. So that flare needs to come off there. Clean that up. Clean that side up. This side's pretty well in line. Little flare over here also. Clean that up quick. Flip my rasp over, go to the smooth side. Hit all those clenches, just make sure there's no sharp burrs or nothing on them in case he touches himself with his foot on the other leg or something like that. Set that down. Donezo. Take the bone out of the stand here. 2 back feet right there. I Love Chicken says, do you have a favorite horse? Well, no. I have, of all my horses, I have some I like using for some things better than other. Henry's like the unsung hero of the bunch. He's pretty good at just about everything. Doesn't really excel in anything. But he's there when I need him. He's just kind of in the background. He's going to make a good one. Do I have any jobs available? No. Sorry. I look for jobs myself. PS1, I own 9 horses. Fun to watch somebody still doing it. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Barry. When did people start shoeing horses? How did it come to pass? Cat, I don't know, honestly. I imagine since people figured out what iron was and how to work metal, somebody put them under a horse, I'm sure. Who taught you how to be a farrier? I'm self-taught, Mark. Self-taught and have had little small bits of advice, but I didn't apprentice under anybody or anything like that. I just always tried to watch what the guys, wherever I was working, that the guys that were better at it than I am, how they did it, and tried to just take notes. You're taking horses to Hawaii? No, I am not. Have you been kicked before? Chicken, I've been kicked, bit, stepped on, run over. I got ran into about 5 minutes ago. Just part of it. But you're behaving. Would you like to turn around and join the conversation? Yeah. So, there he is, guys. You should live stream while writing, Henry. KG, if you go back about a month into my videos, I think about a month back into my live streams, there's a live stream entitled Fall Gather at the Home Place or something like that. I think it's about 2 hours long, and I live streamed a little gather on our desert here. And if I remember right, I was riding Henry that day. So, what? Yeah. Why the long face, Henry? What's a sad boy? Thanks, K-Man. So, there's a bunch of videos on my channel where I'm riding Henry. Can you make a living doing this? Yes, you can. Professional farriers can put 4 shoes on a horse in under an hour. And they can charge a couple $100. And farriers that know corrective shoeing or specialty shoeing or something like that, like maybe around the racetracks or something like that, they make a lot of money. There is a lot of schooling that goes into that, though. Carson, well, thank you for the compliment. Melissa said you're beautiful. Yeah. You and your big eyelashes. I don't have no cookies, so sorry. He is a great quarter horse, Carson. Hey, what are you doing? So, well, guys, I'm going to put my headlamp back on, and we'll go put Henry away for the night before he decides to try and tear my garage down again. He is a handsome boy. He's a good boy. Has his moments, but he's a good boy. Where it is. That's what I ended up doing, working at a racetrack. That's where the money's at if you're a farrier. Pretty smart choice. I've never been around the racetracks or horse racing or anything like that. Just a different flavor from what I do is all. All right. We'll go out here. For those of you that follow the channel, you know that Rush tore his leg up a little bit earlier this week. I'm gonna look at it and doctor on it real quick. Put some spray on it. Hey, thank you, Barry. It was good having you. I hope to see you again. Your dad was a farrier for Pasafinos. That's pretty cool. I imagine it's a pretty different world with them. I've never been around them either, I suppose. Just saw an orb fly by. Well, that don't surprise me. So that's Hot Lips. She's a pretty good little 3-year-old. I've got about 11 rides on her, and the last ride I was pushing some cattle up onto a weigh scale, and they were kind of fighting it, and she was getting mad at them and biting. Well, thanks, David. Ever anything spook the horses? Oh yeah. Carson, I don't have a set schedule for streaming, but I try and drop a video every Tuesday and every Friday. So we'll take Henry's halter off here and let him go back to whatever he had plans to do tonight. There you go, doofus. And then right here is Rush, always. Oh, look at his leg. He did this a couple days ago. The swelling's gone down quite a bit. It's too cold out to do hydrotherapy on it, and I'm not going to be home until late tomorrow night. I'm just going to get some more spray and some more rub to put on it. All right, the Vikings are beating the Cowgirls. I love it. Hey, thanks Luna. I appreciate it. Hope to see you again and next time I'm streaming, and make sure and follow along on the channel. Collard greens, I will show you what he did in just a second after I get his medicine out here. I'm going to turn this around for just a second. I'm going to put a glove on. Golden homie, I will scroll back up and look for your question. Sorry about that. What about poultice, their legs to relieve the day of racing? I don't know. I've never been around race horses. I do know that if I make my horses sore from riding them too hard, there's some liniments and things like that you can rub on their legs to help relieve that. Sorry, guys. Hope that's better now. Thanks for the sub. Zay, I appreciate that. All right. Rush usually stands pretty good for this. I'm just gonna squirt some of this on it. Oh, you're okay, big guy. I know, I don't feel the best. Corona cream for horses, all I know is humans, works great for healing. I'll have to look that up, Kat. These are Equine Health Solutions products. See if I can get the... There we go. This was sent to me by the company. They sent me a bunch of goodies a couple months ago and wanted me to see how I liked them. I'm trying to... Yes, I know you're helping. Thank you. That's Rush's nose, everybody. I'm trying to get a collaboration going with them. I hadn't had a reason to test out the wound care products. Whoa, bud, you're okay. I know. This ain't your favorite. You're okay. Try and keep some of that on there for you, buddy. There. How's that? Is that better? So, all right, KG, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching in. We'll see you again. Your sister has a paint horse. Pretty cool. Oh, I didn't realize they weren't race horses. My fault. No, it's all good, Golden Homie. You're all right. But it also helps morning after a hard day of riding. Yeah, there's several things you can do. I like what's it called? Shriner's herbal solution. I do rub that on their muscles sometimes. Absorbing liniment has done me well in the past also. I haven't had a reason to try any of Equine Health Solutions liniment. I've been fortunate and haven't made anybody that sore lately. So. Avion, oh, that's right. I forgot to show you guys what he did. I'll set this down right here. Hello, Henry. My little girl and I came out to do chores. It's Monday or Tuesday morning. I think it was Tuesday morning. And she says, Rush, owie. And I look over, and of course, yeah, he's got a big owie. So I walked around his pen for a while and found a piece of hide on the ground right there. And this corner of this trough had a little piece that stuck out about that far. It was rounded off and smooth. It wasn't sharp at all. But this trough was scooted over to where it is now. It should be, the middle of the trough should be at this post. Hello, Hot Lips. So he hit that because it's just the right height if he were to be jumping up and moving a little bit. So I brought the grinder out here, cut it off, and then ground it smooth. But that's what he did. What's good for saddle sores? Rocky, if you have a horse that's got galls or saddle sores and you're still riding him, I prefer to use a product called Bickmore's Gall Salve. It comes in a black container. It's a neon green in color, and it's a pretty thick paste. You just rub it on them. And then if you can take some water or something like that with you, and like halfway through the day, or some more of that gall salve even, like halfway through the day, put some more on it. But that really seems to reduce the friction from your saddle pad or your cinch or whatever. And that's been about the best solution I've found for saddle sores. I thought you were a horse racing jockey. I've been in the pack. Well, much respect. Oh, no, Golden Homie, I am a working cowboy by trade. I worked on several different ranches in northern Nevada. Yeah, Henry's pretty friendly towards anybody. Zayn, basically, he did hurt himself playing. I'm not sure if he was playing or if somebody pushed him out of that corner and into the trough or what happened. They always find ways to hurt themselves. So, would that umbrella scare you? You're a dork, you know that. So, okay, guys. My outside chores are done for the night, so I'll stream another couple minutes here, give you guys a chance to ask any last questions, and then I'm going to go in and eat some dinner. Hi, Rush. So, it's been a good stream tonight. I appreciate everybody chatting it up and hanging out. It's been fun. Hi, Hot Lips. How you doing? If your saddle sore and something's wrong, clean pads or check for saddle fit. 100%, David. That's the truth to it. A lot of time, in my experience, saddle sores are usually just a buildup of hair on the underside of the saddle pad. You got to take your curry comb, knock all that stuff down. I do know guys that'll take a bucket of water and pour on their horse's back right before they saddle them, and it's just like, basically it's just extra. It's like a sweat. They don't seem to sore near as bad if they got a good sweat going. Awesome. I appreciate it, Carson. Yeah, so many different personalities. These fillies here, this is Hot Lips. She's half quarter horse, half Clydesdale. This is Kelly. She's a little quarter horse filly. And that's Rogue. She's another quarter horse filly. Chucky, thank you. I appreciate it. I hope to see you again. Why are horses not in a barn, Miss Hummingbird? They don't need to be. As long as you keep plenty of feed in front of them, plenty of hay in front of them, their body creates enough heat through the digestion process that they do really well. Same reason they don't have blankets on. They don't need them. If it gets, if I had like our old paint mare that died a few months ago, the hardest points of the winter when it was wet and windy and her being old, we did put a blanket on her then. But these horses are all young and they got plenty of feed, so they stay warm enough. Matt, I'm in northern Nevada. They all have similar face patterns. Okay, Zayn, these two right here, Rush and Trapper and Hot Lips, are all full siblings. They're all out of a mare that's just past. Oh, you can see her walking up right there if I get my head out of the way. So that's the mare they're out of, and they're all by a Clydesdale stud by the name of Battle River Inc. So those three are all full siblings, and these two right here are half sisters out of a different mare that's not at my house right now. Simple Girl, yes, I'm a working cowboy by trade, so my horses are the most important tool I have to help me do my job. They're some of my best friends also. Belgium Mail, all the horses came back. One day, kicked in the face, bled, went back chasing horse the same day. David, if I catch a dog in my horse pasture chasing my horses, it's the end of the dog. That's my personal preference. My dogs are right there. They're not in my horse pasture, and there's a reason for it. That's just my personal preference on it, though. Whole horses are hard to keep around. They get hurt themselves, and most times have to get put down due to the severity of condition. Yeah, there's some things you can remedy and some things you can't. Yep, that's exactly it, Matt. They do just fine in the cold weather. I like the build of the broodmare. Oh yeah, she's pretty cool. She's out of some really cowy, ranchy bloodlines. I bought her when she was like a 4-year-old, I think. I think a 4-year-old. She's never been saddled or nothing. I bought her just to use as a broodmare. But I think if a guy could have started her as a 2-year-old, I think she would be the just right kind of cowboy horse. I think she'd be pretty cool. Chef's Babe, I'm in northern Nevada. Thank you, Simple Girl. Child of God, hey, I'm very, very glad you're here, and thanks for the compliment. So I hope to see you around more. I have a corgi who's a working dog on my farm. I've heard corgis can be working dogs. Everywhere I have been it's been too many miles in a day to take a corgi along, because they have to make 7 times as many steps to cover the same amount of country as a regular sized dog. Used to go there. No, hey, but so real fast to give me death stares, but how long to feed the grass? Oh yeah, yeah. Horses can be kind of judgmental sometimes. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go in and get some supper. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. You guys stay safe and stay blessed and enjoy the week ahead. We'll see you guys on the next live stream, and like I said, videos on Tuesdays and Fridays. Adios, guys.